It's a beautiful morning. I think I'll go outside for a while and just smile. Just taking some clean, fresh air for me. No sense in staying inside. If the weather's fine and you got the time, it's your chance to wake up and plan another brand new day.
Good morning, Barcelona, and welcome to English Radio on RKB 106.9 FM and to our newest show, Smooth Jazz and Wine Mornings. So I know normally it's usually the first Thursday of the month that we do it, but we have a special occasion today. The big occasion is that my partner in crime for many, many years, Enrico, is back with us today.
Hello, everyone. It's been a while. It has been a while. It was like I couldn't even figure out how to open up the door. Anyway, but it's great to be here, and especially, with such a wonderful guest.
And one of the last times you were here, our guest today, Cristina Soler.
Hello.
She was with us. And we were sampling wonderful Llopart cavas and wines, and so it's fitting that everybody's back together again.
Yeah,
the gang's all here. Well, again, as we talked about, that first Thursday every month, and probably more often like today, we're going to talk with someone who either produces the wines, markets the wines, or makes us enjoy the wines even better. So, Cristina, as I mentioned, is the Director of Tourism for Llopart Vineyards, and we'll welcome to the show again, Cristina.
Thank you.
So, one of the first things we wanted to do is, basically inform our listeners the difference between champagne and cavas.
Well, the making process is the same. So it's the method champenois that was invented by Dom Perignon in the 17th century. Mm-hmm. But the main difference is that champagne is produced with the champagne varieties, the French varieties of grapes like Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, Pinot Meunier. Mm-hmm. And the cava is produced with the local varieties from Catalonia. They are Macabeo, Xarel·lo, and Parellada. But they both are sparkling wines, and they are both well known all over the world.
True.
Mm-hmm.
Now, with the method champenois, they add a little bit of sugar to it as part of the process.
Right.
As opposed to the cavas, which is not. And to me, I've enjoyed that because oftentimes you drink champagne, the next morning you got a headache. Yes. Mm. With cava, I've never had a headache.
With a good cava.
Yes. Let's qualify that. Yes, with the good cava. No, we haven't had it, and nothing we're going to have today is just going to be good cavas.
Yeah, because La Champagne is in North France and is on the Atlantic side, so they have cold and rainy weather, and the grapes have more difficulties to get ripened there. In Catalonia, instead, the grapes, we have more sun, we have a Mediterranean climate, softer, we have more sunny hours than in France. So our grapes get ripened better, and they have a higher sugar content. So we don't need to add sugar at any part of the process. That's why you will not probably have a headache the day after.
And we also saw when we visited Llopart a few weeks ago the amazing quality of how Llopart works.
Yeah.
It's quite different than the mass winery, mass champagnery, and how Llopart does it, which justifies the fact that you may have to pay a little bit more to enjoy a bottle of Llopart.
Right. We have a strong philosophy. Now we are in the fourth and the fifth generations of producers. And Llopart has achieved to be one of the most beloved brands in Catalonia, especially for local people.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And because we have always been doing the things in the traditional way, Mr. Llopart, the owner, he's 90,
I know. I met him one day on his birthday a few years back. I think 5 years back, because it was his 85th birthday. I was there.
Yeah, so now he's already 90, but he's still the boss, you know.
Oh, yeah.
He's a very active person and very intelligent. And what he has done is having his winery open for the public, especially during weekends, during the last 2-3 decades, and letting people come to the winery, taste, buy, and recommend. And this is the best advertisement you can ever have.
Absolutely.
The word of the month, you know, that somebody of your confidence can recommend, taste this wine. Look, it's the one I buy because it makes me feel good. It's the one I prefer. And this is how Llopart has become a popular brand in Catalonia.
Well, we had a friend of ours who was with us on the wine tour. He says, well, I don't like cavas.
Yeah.
And then so he said, well, we'll see. You know, then we were saying, well, but it's Llopart. So yes, I mean Llopart. So we're saying the local people, Llopart has a special meaning.
Yeah. If you ask to any wine lover in Catalonia, any wine local lover in Catalonia, or any sommelier, you ask them, give me a couple of 3 names of a good cava. Llopart is normally in this premium range,
Absolutely.
You know? Yeah. And it's difficult to be there, and it's difficult to
stay there.
To stay there.
Yeah.
So, you know?
But if you go through the vineyards, like he was explaining to us, showing us the older vines and how things are done, and the fact that Llopart is picked by hand.
Yes. All our harvest, we started picking grapes last week, and all our harvest is done by hand. Despite many of the producers in the Penedès area, especially those that have big extensions of vineyards, use machines to pick the grapes, this system is faster and cheaper, but the machine doesn't distinguish any quality. Right. When the machine picks everything, picks grapes in good conditions, maybe grapes in bad conditions. The machine takes leaves, maybe some insect, and everything goes afterwards into the press.
Unwanted protein.
Yeah.
Everything is filtered, but at the first pressage is with everything.
Yeah, very interesting, and also, I mean, what they explained about how everything is grafted on
the old vines and new
the
vines.
old vines, and the fact that that would be a way, if you pick it by hand, to check on the health of the vines.
Right. Yeah. During harvest time, we have to employ 30 helpers, and we just tell them one sentence: don't pick those grapes that you would not eat. Easy to understand.
Right.
Yeah.
So they do so. I mean, they leave the rotten grapes or something wrong at the plant. So we consider that this is a first great step
in quality control.
For quality.
Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, now, interesting, just to confuse us a little bit further, we've seen recently that 9 of the sparkling wine producers in Penedès, including Llopart, have now quit the cava DO, and now they're coming out with a new label they're calling carpinnats.
Right.
What is carpinnat versus cava?
Well, normally people gets a little bit confused, especially when I make tours at the winery. I explained it at the end that Llopart is not cava anymore. It's not under the appellation cava anymore. But this is a thing that should be explained from the beginning. If I have 5 minutes, I can explain.
Yes.
Okay, we have to get back 30 years ago when Spain entered in the European community. And the French especially needed a regulation for the sparkling wines, because at that moment, cava and other sparkling wines in Europe were starting to be important, were starting to be produced, but they did with the name Champagne.
Yeah.
And of course, people from La Champagne were worried about, and they had to protect their region, of course. So every country in the European Union had to make a regulation. In Spain, the Ministerio of Agricultura created an organism called Consejo Regulador del Cava, and was the brand to control all the producers. The first thing they had to do was to look for a name for the product, because everybody was telling champagne. Local people,
Right.
Spain people, still call champagne sometimes, especially the old people, no? And they look and they found the name cava. Cava means a little underneath cellar that was basic normally under the country houses. It was the cooler area of a house where the wine was stocked and the food was stocked. So the name cava was perfectly found. I mean, it was great in marketing terms because it's an easy word. And now we have achieved that all countries know cava, know what cava is, okay?
Yeah.
Second thing they did was to create an appellation of origin, okay? They had to make a rule saying where cava could be produced, okay? So they create an appellation. The right thing was to create an appellation in the Penedès area, because 99% of the cava was produced in Penedès, in southern Barcelona. Sorry. But, you know, at that moment, there were already important producers that had vineyards outside Penedès area. I mean, in whole Catalonia, in Girona, in Lleida, in Tarragona, and also other companies that had facilities out of Catalonia, okay? And at that moment, everybody was willing to make cava, to be cava popular, to make cava popular, especially in international markets, okay? We wanted to be, as the champagne, we wanted to be famous and we wanted to get rich with cava. We had all ingredients to do so, okay?
After all, Catalans. La Pella is La
La Pella
Pella.
is La Pella, right. Yeah, we wanted to get rich and we had the opportunity to do so with cava. So, we started to export cava, okay, and continuing with the appellation. So the government decided to make a shared appellation, okay? So a shared appellation not only in the Penedès but in other authorized areas in Spain, like for example in Rioja, Extremadura, in Valencia. So there are some little areas that are allowed to produce cava from the very beginning, okay? Everybody was agree because everybody wanted to produce bottles and export them and make cava be popular all over the world. And there were important companies, big companies that had wonderful marketing departments, export departments, and they achieved in 20-25 years to make cava be popular and to be exported in the same numbers as champagne is now. So now cava is popular in more than 130 countries. So if you talk to a Canadian or a Norwegian or a German or a Mexican, everybody knows what cava is. So well done. I mean, everything was fantastic done, and in marketing terms, you know. But in the last 10 years, we can say that new producers have appeared, mass producers, and a competition, especially in international markets, has started. And it was a competition not in quality, but in prices.
Right.
Okay? And the results of years and years of competition has brought us
driven the price down.
A drop of the prices and a drop of the quality.
And the image.
Right. And we have a new competitor in international markets, which is Prosecco. The Italian Prosecco
but it's
is
sweet.
it's different, but they are good Proseccos, and they are mass Proseccos.
Yeah.
But Prosecco is now very fashionable because everything that it's Italian, it's very marketing.
Fashionable.
Yeah,
right.
it's fashionable.
Uh-huh.
So, cava has started to be a mass product, a cheap product, and and now you can go, for example, in a Spanish supermarket. You can try and go, and you can find a cava bottle for €1.90.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And
So this is very disappointing. It's cheaper than water sometimes because if you buy a premium water,
if you buy a bottle of Vichy,
Yeah.
it's more expensive than the cava, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I remember in the 1980s that there was there were a few cava brands in the U.S. that were an option to, say, buying your champagne, and they were inexpensive.
Well,
they
yeah.
weren't expensive then.
But there are people like the other person there when you get off the train station at San Sidonio de Noia, who has the big
Exactly.
smaller thing, and they were the ones who really took the
Yeah.
price down.
Yeah, because the success of cava has been a good quality price ratio competing with champagne.
Right.
But we should have found our level, not to drop the prices
Right.
so much. So it's very, very sad to
It
buy
is.
a cava bottle because you have visited our winery. You
Yes.
know how difficult and how complex is the process.
Painstaking. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's very disappointing, and it's very upset that our export manager, Jessie Llopart,
know.
she is the export manager in Llopart. So she goes to a restaurant, a nice restaurant in New York, for example, and she goes with 8 years aging bottle, a Gran Reserva, that maybe costs €40. And she goes there, and the manager of the restaurant say, what are you selling to us? I'm bringing a cava made in Barcelona, family business, blah, blah, blah. And they say, no, we don't have cava here. Go to the supermarket in front and maybe somebody will buy it, So it's really, really very, very
It's sad.
upsetting. Yeah.
We'll be talking a little bit more in greater depth about this right after this.
Can't we just try? Can't we let go? Breathing inside, just let it show. Don't wait and see, let it be so. Can't we just try? Nobody has to know. The more I look around, the less I found to keep me here. Everyone that I care for, absorbed in their excuses, has disappeared. It happens naturally, it's what they tell me, but alone feels just the same. It's you, it's only you that makes it feel okay. Can't we just get away? Can't we just try? Can't we let go? Breathing today. At least we'd be free. Responsibility is fine sometimes, but I wanna live young. No matter where we go, it'll feel like home. Ain't nothing that I need but your love. Can't we just fly? Can't we let go? Breathing inside, just let it show. Don't wait and see, let it be so. Can't we just fly? Nobody has to know. Can't we just fly? Can't we let go? Breathing inside, just let it show. Don't wait and see, let it be so. Can't we just fly? Nobody has to know. Can't we just get away? Come back another day. Don't worry what they say. Can't we just get away? Come back another day.
And that was Moonchild with Nobody. Well, one of the things we were talking about here with Cristina is the evolution of cava into carpinnats. And I'm holding in my hand here this wonderful Rosé Brut, which is one of my favorites. One of Anne's, and like you like rosés, you like the microcosmos that you're part of. This is now a carpinnat as opposed to the cava.
There we have it.
We have there is a carpinnat. So tell us while we sip this wonderful.
Okay, look at the color.
It's not
this-
very rosé.
No, it's
Well,
pink.
actually, kind of golden.
Yeah. And this is
It's not like those that you think have added a little bit of red dye number 5 in there.
this is what we call
No.
a summertime sparkling wine, a summertime rosé. Okay.
I think that a rosé cava is especially nice, let's say, at the beginning of a wedding reception.
Right. It's perfect as a welcome glass.
Yes.
Yes. Yes,
Pink,
it has little
bright.
pink and it has a little bit of a honey color as well, too. So it's a
I
mix.
loved what they explained when we went through the tour, the type of glass that had the,
Yeah.
the premium glass that had a little hole, and then the bubbles go straight up.
Right.
It's
yes.
wonderful to watch.
Yes. Because the bubbles look for a defect on the
Right.
glass, and
Yeah.
then a rosary appears
Right.
from the bottom.
Right. So this is, it's a cheap glass, but it still works. We get the bubbles.
They still rise.
What do you find in nose?
Cheers.
When
In the
you smell
nose?
it, when you smell it, guess which kind is fruity?
It's definitely fruity, but
It's
it seems
fruity
like
blossom.
apricot, a little bit of strawberry.
Right. Strawberry is the main fruit you should smell.
Yeah, strawberries definitely, but I do smell a little bit of apricot and maybe
Very fresh fruits,
definitely
summertime
a
fruits.
melocotone, maybe even. But very good.
Very good.
It's not aggressive.
Mm-mm.
Very soft. It's perfect to break the ice to start. This is a grape.
For-
Imagine yourself in a terrace with a nice aperitif.
I do that often. I go out on my terrace often, and I sit out there, and I'll have
Look at the Sagrada Familia.
Right, I do that quite often, Cristina. It's, and I'll have.
Imagine yourself on a terrace on the beach.
It won't
with
have
the
to be.
boats
Well,
in
I don't have to
front,
imagine too hard. It's very easy. Just open the door and step outside. But I like you can use this with me with a little bit of jamon, or you can have cheese or some nuts or fruit, whatever. It's just the perfect complement to anything that you want to eat or just to snack on. This
is also good for a light course like a salad. Okay, a pizza. A pizza, if you like pizza.
I could actually see that
Yeah.
paired with a pizza.
I never thought about it with the pizza.
Yeah.
But the salads definitely, and with what? What are you going to say? You haven't been here in years. Now you're going to start up with me. What?
When do we see a picture of you eating a pizza? Not very often. It's always like steak smothered in this with a side of greens with this and a little of this and that.
Yeah, but I have had pictures of me with pizzas.
Okay.
Not recently, but
Not recently.
but I have.
You don't like pizza?
No, I love pizza,
But
I'm very
it should be good.
I'm very selective about the pizzas.
Okay.
There's only a couple of places here that I will have pizza, but that's it. But
Do you like Chicago pizza, by the way?
oh no, the deep dish pizza?
Yeah.
No,
I was wondering.
no. I
That's
think
strange.
thin crust. It must be a thin crust pizza.
Okay. So more
Neapolitan.
Neapolitan.
Style. Right. That's what I like. And there's a wonderful pizza place that I've discovered in Gracia. And the guy is from Brooklyn.
Interesting.
And he married a Spanish lady, and they've got a nice pizza place there, and a truly Italian pizza place. So that's place
A guy from Brooklyn
from
marrying
Brooklyn, a Spanish woman.
a Spanish woman and having an Italian pizza parlor. Interesting.
I think it's very interesting. It's very
Okay,
interesting.
as long as the pizza's good.
Pizza's great. But now, so again, you're saying, again, this is a perfect drink, and you can drink it all day. It's not really, yes, all
You
day.
can drink it all day.
Yes, or until the bottle is finished, whatever.
That wouldn't be all day.
No, it wouldn't be. It wouldn't be. But again, so we're saying this is best, obviously, with lighter foods, as opposed to beef or a heavy stew or something. Or what about with a paella?
Well, for a paella, I would. You mean if this one can match a paella?
Yeah.
No, I would suggest you another one for paella. We have another rosé in our range. I haven't brought it today, but
The microcosmos.
I promise that next time I will bring, or if you come to the winery.
I'll come pick up a case.
Okay.
Right.
It's called Microcosmos.
Which is wonderful.
It's wonderful.
It
My
is wonderful.
favorite.
It's absolutely wonderful. Yes. That's the one I have in my refrigerator right now, chilling.
Okay, so that one is perfect for a paella, for example.
Okay.
Because this one is light, so I will suggest you to match it with something lighter. Microcosmos instead, it's a long-aging rosé, Brut Nature, so it's more, it's drier than this one. This is Brut, so it has some sugar added,
You can tell.
just a little bit.
A little bit sweet.
Yeah, and this is perfect to begin. But for the second course as a paella, I would suggest you the Microcosmos.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect.
Microcosmos is also very good to be matched with barbecue, for
Yes.
example. For example, the employees in Llopart, sometimes we celebrate a barbecue at the winery, and we match it with a nice Microcosmos.
I could see it
glass.
with, good ribs.
Yeah.
Good
Yes.
barbecue
Yeah.
ribs.
Yes.
It has that, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I remember the time we were there. We had the picnic out in the fields,
Uh-huh.
and and we had a microcosmos that day.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah. And it was in winter time, I remember.
Yeah.
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 No, it was great.
Yeah.
It was absolutely great. No. Now we talk about Llopart being a premium wine, and one of the aspects we're trying to do with carpinnats is to promote the premium quality. Now, what makes a wine a premium wine, and how can someone, if they go into the store to buy a cava or a carpinnat, how do they know what's a premium quality? What should they look for?
Well, the fact of in January 2019, 10 different wineries abandoned the appellation cava because they were following a more strict philosophy in terms of production. Okay,
Right.
so they created a collective European Union brand, Carpinnat, okay, to distinguish great sparkling wines made in the heart of Penedès area. So they follow a very strong philosophy. First, they control the whole process from the beginning to the end. Okay, they have their own vineyards. Okay, so Mr. Llopart, for example, he considers that you can only control the process if you control your vineyards since they are babies until they are
great grandpas.
Many years old. Exactly. We have vineyards that are 85 years old. So I call them the Jurassic vineyards. Yeah. So this is very important to own your vineyards. Then we have 100% organic grapes. So we cultivate our vineyards under the parameters of the eco farming. Okay. And
that's important to know. I would not have, that wouldn't have been something that I would
have thought about, right?
You know, put in the forefront of Llopart, being eco, being
Yeah, because again, you don't use fertilizers. You are using only your own grapes, your own vines. You're not buying it from a cooperative where there is no control. So it's again part of it being able to say that if it is organic.
Yeah, but it makes sense, and it also makes sense when you look at the price tag. For me, that in some ways justifies it more. The fact that you're using methods that are ecological and
it's harder to cultivate, especially in a year like this year. This year has been
What's wrong with this year?
This year has been awful in all aspects, also for the harvest. Because, we normally, let's see if it finishes soon.
No, we don't want to ruin 2021.
No, the heat has been, exceptionally hot year, and it hasn't been as much rain as we'd like.
Right.
So those two factors alone have made it very difficult.
Yeah.
But July wasn't terribly hot.
It was hotter than normal.
But especially the rain.
But again, the big thing is that we just didn't have as much rain as we normally do. That's been the big problem.
Because I remember the heat wave at the end of June last year. That was horrible. We didn't have that this year.
No, but again, we've had more of a higher average temperature for a longer period of time. And then this August has been, brutal. The end of July was tough. So it's not the greatest thing in the world. But we've come up with some beautiful, beautiful wines nevertheless, which we'll talk about more right after this.
Every honeybee fills with jealousy when they see you out with me. I don't blame them, goodness knows. Honeysuckle rose. When you're passing by, flowers droop inside, and I know the reason why. You're much sweeter, goodness knows. Honeysuckle rose. I don't buy sugar. You just have to touch my cup. You're my sugar. It's sweet when you stir it up. When I'm taking sips from your tasty lips, seeps the honey fair, it drips. Your conviction, goodness knows. Honeysuckle rose. See every honeybee fills with jealousy when they see you out with me. I don't blame them, goodness knows. Honeysuckle rose. When you're passing by, flowers droop inside, and I know the reason why. You're my sweeter, goodness knows. Honeysuckle rose. Don't buy sugar, you just have to touch my cup. You're my sugar, and it's sweet, so sweet when you stir it up. When I'm taking sips from your tasty lips, seeps the honey fairly drips. Your conviction, goodness knows. Honeysuckle rose.
filled with jealousy when they see you out with me. I don't blame them, goodness knows. Honeysuckle rose. When you're passing by, flowers droop and sigh, and I know the reason why. You're much sweeter, goodness knows. Honeysuckle rose. Don't buy sugar. Get sugar, you to touch my cup. You're my sugar, and it's sweet when you stir it, get up. When I'm taking sips from your tasty lips, seeps the honey fairly drips. Your confection, goodness knows. Honeysuckle rose, honeysuckle, honeysuckle rose.
And that was Jane Monheit with Honeysuckle Rose. Well, we don't have a honeysuckle rose. We have a wonderful Llopart we're going to talk about here. This is Senor.
Moving right on to the next bottle, Virgil?
We have to be able to pace the show properly, as you well know.
Yes.
We have another wonderful, carpinnat from Llopart. It is called Llopart, appropriately enough, and it is the kind of wine that Senor Llopart will tell you is his favorite, and the one that he wants all of you to drink. And I think we should drink that. So we'll pour a little bit about here. Yes, Cristina, get rid of yours, and then you'll tell us about
all of the Llopart people who work at Llopart. You take a sip and you're like, otherwise you'd walk around all day half
smashed.
half smashed, just a sip.
Well, that's part of the joy of working in wine, I think, that you're going to be able to drink it. So this is a wonderful, very tawny color.
It's almost, tawny is a very good description of the color.
I'm very good with words, you know that.
Yeah, okay.
So
I'll give you that.
So tell us about this, Cristina. What makes Llopart so special?
Llopart, I would say that this is the one of the perfect examples of a good Llopart sparkling wine. So it's a long aging because it's the one we are drinking now is from harvest 2013. So it has been 7 years aging in bottle after the second fermentation. It's Brut Nature, so it's dry. Nothing is added. Brut Nature kind is the driest,
right,
and is the preferred modality for cava lovers. Especially.
So if we look at wines, we say that there's a basic wine, then Brut is a little bit drier, and Brut Reserve of Nature is even drier than that.
Brut Nature is the driest.
Okay.
It has no sugar added, so it's natural. Then it comes the Brut. The Brut has an addition of all wine and sugar. That it's between it's about 6 and 8 grams of sugar per liter.
Okay.
And then there is the semi-seco or the dulce,
right,
which has a certain amount of sugar. It's about 20 grams of sugar per liter. So we suggest Brut, which is in the middle, for aperitifs, or desserts. Brut Nature first, second course, and the semi-seco or the el dulce only
dessert.
for desserts.
I don't know very many people who like the semi.
No, because people generally
there are people who do like sweet wines, and I think people who like sweet wines would go to the semi-sec because they want to have sweetness in their wines, and they don't think about the complexity and taste and all of that. So like if this, here you're smelling this you smell the oak, you smell the wood, you smell nuts.
Oh yeah, it's nutty.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Did a wonderful. Yes, it is.
It's nutty.
And then you taste it on there. It just lingers on your
Oh, that's
mouth.
so smooth.
Yeah.
Okay, I was wrong.
Make a note. August 20th,
Write it down.
2020. Anne was
Anne said
wrong.
she was
Anne
wrong.
was wrong. Right?
No, I really like this.
Oh yeah, it's wonderful. It's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful wine.
Yes, yes. This, I mean, we always suggest Leopardi. If you you can feel confident with this sparkling wine. I mean, if you have guests at home, if you have to give it as a present.
Yeah.
So
Well, your labels are also, the design of the bottle is also exquisite. I mean, I was admiring the Microcosmos bottle last night that I still left on my counter.
They're also they're historic because the label always is incorporated in there, the original label,
right.
going back to 1777 or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Llopart always explains us that he thinks that his great-grandparent, because he hadn't met him, took just a part of a map that was drawn by a topograph and took the part of the map where his estate was shown.
Okay.
His countryside house and the watchtower.
Right.
Do you
Yes.
remember
Right,
the watchtower from the 10th century
Right.
that we have next to the winery? So this lithography, we have been using it during all the Llopart history, and now we have achieved that the consumer just recognize the brand at the first sight,
Right.
just for the logo. And this is really cool in terms of marketing.
Interesting.
Okay, this has been achieved by being constantly using the same lithography, of course, adapted to every moment. Because now Microcosmos has a modern design, but always
Yeah, but
keeping
it still
this.
includes it.
Yeah, it is. Now, talking about something that's modern, part of your job in terms of helping to promote your part, you guys are doing a series now of poetry readings and a concert tonight, right?
Right, we have a concert tonight at the winery. It's folk music. Okay, it's a musician called Marc Parrot.
Okay.
It's a Catalan composer and a musician, and we are going to have more than 100 persons at the winery. But we have a big garden.
Yeah.
We can keep the distance, so everything is controlled.
That's tonight at in the winery, in the winery.
In the
Vineyard,
what?
in the vineyard, combining winery and
In the
vineyard.
in the winery?
I was combining vineyard and winery.
Okay.
But in the vineyard, which is, if you want to get there from Barcelona, it's very easy. You take the train to San Sadorno de Noia, and then it's a quick taxi ride to the vineyard.
Right.
And it starts at what time?
The concert, you mean? Today it's at 9:30. But all entrances are.
You're
sold
sold out?
It's sold out. Yes.
You going to do another one this season at all, or
We are next week. We are going to have a poetry. Session. There will be an actor reciting poetry.
when is that going to be?
Next Thursday.
Okay.
Next week.
All right.
You know, we often do, especially in summertime,
Right.
cultural events at the winery. It's a way to promote, to let the people meet the winery, being at the winery, and
Yeah, well, I think that, the Llopart brand it's a classy brand. It's a special brand. When you drink it, you feel sort of pampered, taken care of. You're not just, here, have a glass. No, it's, look at the special bottle, have a glass, whatever. And so these events, I think that when people are part of those events, they also feel, become sort of part of the Llopart world.
yeah,
Like an ambassador for Llopart.
right, and you feel like invited by the family.
Yes.
Because they are all around.
Right.
They are very accessible. I mean, we like people to be comfortable, to be to feel like a special guest, no? To be, I mean.
And it's true, because even just taking a tour, you get a sense of the continuity of the family and the continuity of the vineyards, of the wine itself, but also you become like embraced as part of it. So when you drink the wine, you sample the wines, you have a little bit of the jamon or whatever.
Oh, that's wonderful. The
Yes.
breakfast and with the
Yes.
view out on the thing. But as you say about, being part of the family, as you walk up the spiral staircase, with all the family pictures and the history, I think it's very well designed, the way you're taken through. It's not like, push this button
Right.
and
No.
it seems very natural, very sort of look at the portrait of, these were the original owners and this and this and this.
And this is the current generation. And
current
everything.
generation.
Yeah.
It's just very well done.
It is.
There is a sentence that I love and I follow. Is people do not drink wine, drink stories. Okay.
That's very true.
So I love to have this story behind, and Llopart has a
great story.
a great story behind.
Absolutely, a great story.
Yeah, I'm really. It was one of the. I'm really looking forward when my family's able to travel again, to come and give them a tour.
You will be very welcome.
It would be great.
It'll be a while.
Yeah, hopefully, before November, but definitely after November. We'll be back to talk more right after this.
November.
When sunny gets blue, her eyes get gray and cloudy, then the tears begin to fall. Pitter-patter, pitter-patter, love is gone, so what can matter? No sweet lover man comes to call. When sunny gets blue, she breathes a sigh of sadness, like the wind that stirs the tree. Wind that starts the leaves a-swaying, like some violins were playing, weird and haunting melodies. People used to love to hear her laugh, see her smile. That's how she got her name. Since that sad affair, she's lost her smile, changed her style. Somehow she's not the same. But memories will fade, pretty dreams will rise up where the other dream fell through. So hurry, new love, hurry here, and brush away each lonely tear and hold
when sunny gets blue. But memories will fade and pretty dreams will rise up where the other dream fell through. So hurry, new love, hurry.
And that was Gene Lee and Rand Blake with Sunny Gets Blue. We're talking with our friend here, Cristina Soler. She's going to tell us about another thing that we don't normally think about when we think about Llopart. They also do wines, still wines as opposed to sparkling wines. And you brought one with us today, Fossils, which I think is a wonderful, wonderful, wine. I've tried it last year when you first introduced it, and it was surprisingly good. And the kind of wine that I think people would like if they're having a white wine. Tell us about it.
Okay, first the name Clos dels Fossils.
Interesting.
Yes, the Penedès Valley, and you can see all the valley from the winery if you remember when you were there. Was covered by the sea in the Miocenic era, 20 million years ago. So once that the sea went out, now we can find fossils in the shape of an oyster, of shells, and also some coral.
Right.
Okay, and the vineyards of Xarel·lo that we use to produce this wine, when we plot them, we find these fossils.
I think the Xarel·lo ones, I think, were on the back upward side.
Yeah.
Like when we came out, we walked up the road, they were
Yeah.
here, up there.
Yeah. So the Xarel·lo is the autochthonous white grape, is the typical grape of the Penedès area.
Smooth.
It's wonderful, dry, and it's got, again, a very wonderful nose to it. And
no bite at all.
No, it was very, very smooth. You could drink it, with fish, with pork, or whatever. Now, the thing that's also great about it, now you're talking about some of the events you have coming, which folks can find out about by going to your website, Llopart.com. You're going to be doing a couple of picnics.
Right.
Which is which I loved. I loved when I had the picnic with you guys.
Yeah.
So tell us about the picnics. When are they, and what are they about?
We offer picnics all year round. Okay. Because especially now after the lockdown, people
Right.
people
Yeah,
need
right.
Did you say after?
well, after the strict lockdown. So people, especially urban people, need to go out, need to be in the middle of the nature and make things in the open air. So we thought that a picnic visit would be great, and also a trekking visit. So we organize activities tailor-made, if you wish, as well. Activities for people to be in the open air, to discover our estate, which is big
Right.
and beautiful. With that we have a beautiful landscape
Yes.
to the Montserrat Mountains. So we organize activities. The picnic is one. We have a picnic area in the
Yes.
middle of a vineyard.
I was
Yes.
actually on the way down here, when I'm riding my moto.
Yes.
I was thinking, because my son turns 21 in October.
Uh-huh.
And I was thinking, you really want to sort of, and he's very Catalan name and very, So I was thinking, what would be nice to invite these kids, just his
They'd love
small
it.
group of friends.
They would
Yes.
love it.
And have like a private party at Llopart.
Right,
Yeah,
yeah,
could
that
do
could
it.
be a good idea.
Because we're going to do that. We're going to have another English radio picnic. I'll tell you folks about it as we put it together, but at your part, definitely doing it. But the picnics are wonderful. You guys catered it very well. The food is fantastic. And having the
Yes.
wines along with it is just a great experience.
When you give a basket and a straw hat to somebody with a picnic inside and a bottle of
Right.
wine, and it's perfect. It's going to be a perfect.
It's instant fun.
And like the
Yes.
beginning of October, what kind of, it's nice weather.
It's nice. It's
Yeah,
nice.
Probably a
nice.
good time of year.
Oh, yeah, very
because
nice.
now it's very hot. Okay, so when we organize activities, we do it in the early hours of the
Right.
morning, or in the afternoon. So in the middle hours would be too hot.
But no, the picnics are wonderful.
Yeah.
They really are. Because
Well,
I've done one of them with the basket and
Thinking.
everything. It's been
Yeah.
It would be
so
great,
great.
for like,
Yeah.
10, 12, 21-year-olds.
We have organized like hiking
Right.
activity. It's just 5 kilometers in total, so and
Okay,
it's very
it's
easy
easy.
and comfortable. So we go through the vineyards and through the forest, and we look for the picnic area, and we organize a
Perfect.
Catalan picnic there.
Perfect.
With cava,
Might be a
wine.
good surprise.
It'll be fun.
Yeah.
It'll be a fun thing.
Yeah.
Well, Cristina, first we're running out of time, but it's always wonderful, to have you here. It's wonderful to see you again after this time. As many times I've been there and we've missed each other, but it's great to have you here.
Thank
It's
you.
wonderful. And again, you can go to Llopart.com for information about all of the wines that you see in the day and more, as well as all the events coming up.
Mm-hmm.
So it's good to have you back too, Miss
Yeah,
Ann.
great.
And we're going to leave you today with a song by Jameson Ross called Mellow Good Time, which is appropriate for what we've been doing here today. Have a great one in Barcelona. We'll
Mellow
talk to
good
you
wine.
and all of that too. Take care.
When evening shadows fall and the sun no longer shines, we're gonna get together. We're gonna have a mellow good time. We're gonna have a mellow good time. We're gonna rock them back at the Happy Jacks. Won't stay too long, or we'll be moving on. Open up the city, cover up the town. We're gonna ride the pony, yeah, all around. Here we go now. Go. We're gonna have a mellow good time. Oh no, I said we're gonna have a mellow good time. Ooh, we're gonna have a mellow good time. When we strike the groove, we're gonna pay our dues to the G.O.V. We need to rest from over participation, so come along with me, oh yes. Oh no, we're gonna have a mellow good time. Now, we're gonna gonna pay our dues to the G.O.V. We need a little rest, a little relaxation. Come party with me. Oh, let your head down. It's Friday night. Get on your mojo, oh no. Get on for your job, yeah. Oh, why don't you kick up your feet or dance to the beat? Feel the heat now. Come on, let's hit the streets. We're gonna party all night long.